Hi everyone. Okay, this should be actually a little bit of a recap really, because you have done this before, you'll have done this last year, and we will have touched it at different points over this year as well. But in your GCSEs, these kind of questions, expanding brackets, are quite often really good questions because they'll give you 1 or 2 points and they'll ask you exactly what they want you to do. So they'll say, expand these brackets for 2 points, okay? You don't really have to think too much about what you're doing then, as long as you know about how to do it. It's not really a problem-solving question at this point. So they're kind of like bank questions. They're kind of questions you get the points in the bank from these. So let's make sure we can do them. I've put 6 different examples here. But what we're doing here, basically, we're multiplying this 2 by everything inside the brackets, okay? But we don't know what the x is yet. We're going to multiply this 2 by everything inside. So the first thing you want to do is do the 2 multiplied by x, okay, which gives us 2x. And then you're going to do the 2 multiplied by the positive 1, okay? Really important. I've said positive 1. You'll see why when we move on to some others in a moment, why I've done that, but it's positive 1. 2 multiplied by positive 1 is positive 2, okay, 2 times 1. So there's our answer. Okay, it's quite a nice one, especially if we've got a plus sign here. It's really nice questions. So yeah, some people call it Noddy's hat, some people call it an eyebrow. So here's the second one, okay? So again, we're going to do the 5 multiplied by the 2x. Don't panic about that. We just multiply the coefficients. That means the number in front, okay? So 5 times 2 is 10, so we get 10x, okay? And then we do 5 multiplied by positive 1, which is positive 5, so we put plus 5, okay, because your answer is positive 5, okay. The next one down here, a little different. This time we've got an x on the outside and an x on the inside. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're still multiplying them together. The thing you've got to remember here, that x multiplied by x is x squared, not 2x. Be really careful. That's a common mistake, okay. X multiplied by x is x squared. I'm going to put that down here actually, just as a little note so you remember. X times x is x squared, and that's not to be confused with x add x, which is 2x, okay? It might be worth putting those 2 in your books and just highlighting them because people are always mixing these 2 up, okay? If you can make sure you're getting them the right way around, a lot of this is going to be easier. So back up here, x times x multiplied by x squared, x multiplied by positive 1 is positive x, okay? It's 1 times x is x. Okay, now these are exactly the same thing, but we've got negative signs on these ones, okay? So we're going to start off the same. 3 multiplied by x is 3x. Now this is what I was saying about the positive sign. This time I'm going to say 3 multiplied by negative 2, okay, which is negative 6. So we put the negative sign in there with the 6. So you don't even have to think about what sign goes here. That's the most common question people ask. What sign do I put in here? What sign? You don't even have to think about it. If you work it out like this, you're just saying 3 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 6. So that's just what you're putting in. This one here, 4 multiplied by 3x is 12x. 4 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 8. And the last one, x multiplied by 2x, okay, so it kind of comes down to here. If x multiplied by x is x squared, x multiplied by 2x is going to be 2x squared, okay, 2x squared, and x multiplied by negative 3 is going to be negative 3x. That's a nice one at the end, okay. So I'm sending you some work to do on these, expanding single brackets. I'm going to put in a few slightly trickier questions, but this is everything you need to know. Okay, don't panic if you see something that looks a bit longer. You just need to apply what you've learned here. You don't need to know anything other than this, okay? There's nothing more complicated than what we've just done. So please have a go at those. I'm going to put up another video in just a second of expanding double brackets, okay, which are a little more different. That's these ones here, look. So when they look like this, but I'm going to do a separate video on those so you don't have to watch through the whole thing all at once. Thanks, folks.